Okay, I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm not entirely sure where it's going to go, but let me start with where we are now. It's been a wild couple of years. Pretty much exactly 18 months ago, me and my partner's twin daughters were born. 3 months later, I started getting some worrying symptoms. 3 months after that, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. I had surgery to have that tumour removed. And while I was on the ward recovering from surgery, the surgeon came around and said, it doesn't look good. Meanwhile, in the background, my dad was living through prostate cancer, which had already metastasized before they even discovered it. So he was on his countdown and he passed away in December last year. At the backdrop to all of this, I was the CEO of a startup, a music technology startup. It's a project that I loved very, very dearly. It felt like my life's work. We were doing the startup thing, you know, raising money, pushing forward with all the energy that needs and all the complexity that you have to wade into to make it through that. So after that first surgery, I then went back a couple of months later and had the same procedure again. As the surgeons expected, they were just like, yep, it's grown back, and the only chance of a complete cure is to have my bladder and prostate removed and have a piece of bowel taken out to create a urine conduit on my belly. It's a stoma. It's basically a piece of bowel that does your peeing for you. So they decided after that second surgery that I would need to have it all removed, which is a big procedure. It would take 3 months to fully get over. So with a family to look after, with a startup to keep alive, with my dad on his last legs, it was an absolute hellscape. But the only way is through. So I pushed on. We tried to raise more capital to keep the business alive while I was away having my surgery. It came within a couple of months of my surgery and it was looking a bit dicey, so I actually delayed the surgery by 6 weeks just to get things in a good place. So in parallel to that, we were trying to sell the business because that obviously would have helped keep everything alive. So I went for my surgery at the end of April. I handed over everything in the state it was to my sister and some very kind friends. We found somebody to buy the business, so it was looking good. Anyway, that deal fell over 2 weeks after my surgery. I was in no fit state to work. I was in no fit state to do anything. I hadn't taken a salary for 6 months. We didn't know how we were going to pay the next mortgage payment. It was awful. But my sister, bless her, put together a GoFundMe campaign, and the response was just incredible. We raised 40 grand for me and the family, just to, you know, give us enough for me to rebuild my life and to keep a roof over our head. We funded that in like 4 hours, and then we wanted to raise some money to support the team who had obviously just lost their jobs and hadn't been fully paid for a couple of months before that, and we raised that as well. Man, just experiencing that outpouring of kindness and generosity has completely changed the way that I think about everything that's happened in the last couple of years. It feels like a gift now. It feels like something that was meant to be. My sense of loss, of losing things, has just evaporated. The amazing generosity and kindness that came in my hour of need, it's made me completely reevaluate my entire life. There is kindness out there and there's hope to be had. I don't think that's amplified enough. I want to pay forward this generosity that people have shown me. I want to make things that make people feel like they can get through, they can get help. I want people to feel lucky in the way that I feel lucky. Despite everything that's happened, and because of this crazy generosity, I feel like the luckiest guy alive. That is something that I want to keep feeling. And you know, that's a choice. It's not something that just hovers around you like a fly. It's something you need to work on. So one of the reasons that I'm starting this channel is to keep myself on that path of thinking of myself as the luckiest guy alive, because I think that's just good for my life and good for the way I show up in the world. And I want to help other people feel like the luckiest guys or girls or anyone, however you identify. I want you to feel like the luckiest people alive, because I think that will also help you and the way you show up in the world.